What job position is 100% overvalued and overpaid? Story 1. The one I had at my last office job. I was originally hired to be the manager of a new project, but the project was never launched and I had a long-term contract. After 5 months of being paid by only clocking in and out without doing any actual work, someone saw me in the pool for available associates and invited me to join their project as a frontline agent. Apparently at some moment the database just marked me as an available employee, without mentioning the rank I had been hired for. I stayed in the company for 6 years, getting paid the salary of a manager, but with the responsibilities of a regular agent. I rejected every offer for growth I had, as I was only working there to pay for a debt. In the end, I made my money with very little stress, and left the company in great terms. What job position is 100% overvalued and overpaid? First, if it was so good, why did I leave? Simple, this job had nothing to do with my own career path. A few years back my life basically crumbled to pieces. I got into some really bad debt, and at some point I just had to get a job, even if it was an office job I didn't want. Worked for 2 years in another company before I was recommended for the position in the one mentioned in my post. The day my debt was paid off was the day I presented my 2-week notice and left in great terms. I was lucky to have a nice team around me. Second, no, I won't mention the company or project. It was as an analyst in a streaming app. No, not the super big ones. What I actually did as a frontline agent was a hybrid of customer service and developer support, all text-based. Third, it was indeed a very fortunate set of coincidences and I took advantage as much as I could, but I left due to my own pursuit. I'm doing good with my own independent endeavor, and no salary will be more valuable than my own sense of accomplishment of making a living out of what I love doing. Story 2. Hospital CEOs, and actually almost all hospital upper management. There are so many layers of management that many of them barely step foot into a healthcare facility ever, let alone ever speak to a patient, yet all of them make 6, 7, 8-figure salaries plus mega bonuses. My hospital network CEO makes $11 million salary not including bonuses, which bothers me, but bothers me even more are all the board members and shit directly under him making nearly as much. It's hundreds of millions of wasted money paid to the people trying to screw staff out of good pay and screwing patients into paying big bills. Story 3. I work in fintech and I literally do nothing during 9 to 5. I wake up in the morning, start my computer, check emails, morning meetings, then play video games, go to the gym, invite friends over or go out for brunch, and at the end of the day message everyone a good afternoon. I'm absurdly overpaid as well and highly recommend the career. It's like I have a job but I don't but I do. For everyone asking, I am a senior expert on blockchain and contract between phone companies every year, mostly Google and Amazon. The hardest part is the schooling, but afterwards the actual work is quite easy. It's a pretty surreal career and I understand how privileged it is to have a stress-free job. I've seen how badly an unhealthy work-life balance can impact a person's mental health cause of my parents, which is why I got into IT. Story 4. I got hired as a manager in October 2019, did my training, and then got an offer for a special assignment that was supposed to last a few months. $300 a day guaranteed, whether I worked or not. I did work a lot for the first few months, but then COVID happened. The other people that had the same opportunity were all told to go home. We were working out of town, me and a few other guys were told to stay. I was probably averaging 20 hours a week while still making my guaranteed $300 a day. Eventually the other guys went home, so then my hours up to 30 to 40 a week. I made $2,100 a week for 2 years. It was tough because if I went home, I would be taken off the assignment, but good Lord did that bring me out of debt and boost my savings account. Story 5. One night I babysat 3 kids for about 2 hours or so. The kids went to bed when I got there, and the parents had left dinner out for me, so all I did was eat their food and watch their TV and pet their dogs. When they got home, the mom paid me $100. I told her that was way too much. She slurred. "Don't worry about it, I'm drunk." and then I noticed her fly was down. So that was the most overpaid job ever, lol. Story 6. I am a DevOps engineer at a fintech startup. I write server configurations for $125,000 per year, and I work about 10 to 20 hours a week, remotely. I keep thinking they've figured out how easy my job is and decided to fire me, and then instead they tell me I'm doing a great job and promote me. I smoked weed all through college and got a degree in philosophy, and did not go to grad school. Story 7. Council workers/bureaucrats. We recently had a lady get an $18K pay raise, raised everybody's rates in the community, and she's already on $500K a year. F evil, despicable. Rating people out of their homes at a time when the cost of living is through the roof and a vast majority of the people can't even afford their own first home. I don't use this word much because I feel it can taint the soul and slowly start to fester. But I hate the lot of them. The Christchurch Council and Environment Canterbury. Absolute worthless bunch of greedy parasites. Story 8. Politicians. While they make a good amount of money, the salary isn't usually obscene. It's money made in side dealings that causes some politicians to become wealthy. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, in 2022 only California and DC had legislators making six figures. Members of Congress make $174,000. House or Senate, except the Speaker, President pro tem, and floor leaders in each house make more. Speaker makes the most, at $223,500. Story 9. The president of the university I work for makes over $500,000 a year plus bonuses. Anytime we've hosted an event he's supposed to show up to, we get a last-minute email from his assistant saying something came up and he can't make it. This university also refuses to pay staff/graduate students more because they claim it's impossible due to the budget not being high enough.